Streets and Eats, guys. I'm Chris Bauer. I am in or just outside of Dayton, Ohio. I am in the Fairfield Commons Mall. It's just to the northeast of Dayton, Ohio. I'm here for a specific reason. I'm here to visit one of the last remaining stores that I remember from the 90s that I used to frequent every time I went to the mall. And that store, of course, is Suncoast Motion Picture Company.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm looking for this movie. This one movie, and this guy's like, freeze! I can't. Kick! Yeah. Hey! Then there's this one part. Which fire it cuts it. Bang! So, you got that movie? Red one? Do I cut the blue one? Do I cut the red one?
The other guy's like, cut the red one.
Yeah, don't cut the red one. And he cuts it, and nothing happened.
Sure, we got that one.
Cool.
You know that one you've been looking for? So do we. Suncoast. It's where you buy movies.
Well, before I get to that, I got to show you guys my new Filmation Presents t-shirt I got from 80stees.com. If you grew up in the 80s, you know or should know that Filmation created some of your greatest Saturday morning cartoons, from Masters of the Universe to She-Ra to the Archies to Batman, Superman, Superboy, all of them. This company created them. Anyway, I got this shirt, of course, at 80stees.com, which you guys should too. Head to their website, check them out. They have thousands and thousands of amazing t-shirts from the 80s. Even some 90s have squeaked in there, which I'm totally cool of, and some 70s. They're awesome. The link to them right in the description below. Hit that link. You'll get discounts as soon as you get on the website, and check out 80stees.com today. That's right, guys. Suncoast Motion Picture Company. It is a 1990s staple for any mall. Pretty much any movie fan or collector growing up in the 80s and 90s, you've been to one of these. They got their start in 1986, actually as a Paramount Pictures video store. Just to give you some background on this, back in the early 80s when VHS came out, they were extremely expensive, $80 to $100, sometimes more a tape. Very expensive. Very few people could afford them, which of course is why video rental stores became so popular. Somebody got the bright idea to buy a whole bunch of tapes and then just charge people small amounts of money to rent them. And then of course they took over the country. Every single city had a mom and pop rental store. Obviously the chains like Blockbuster and all the others started to spring up. But during all this rise, Paramount, being a distributor themselves, took notice. And they saw that there was a huge market for, obviously, video rentals, but video sales. And since they had something to do with the price of videotapes, being a distributor themselves, they decided to test out this market, be able to drive the price down a little bit. And they put up a pre-order back in, I think it was 83 or 84, for Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark for only $40. Pre-order was a smash success. Thousands and thousands of people bought it. They realized there really is a market for people, instead of just renting tapes, would like to own the videos. So they partnered with a big music company that had a lot of stores in malls across America called Musicland. Musicland owned Sam Goody's and a whole bunch of other different media stores that were in malls. And they teamed with them, started the Paramount Picture Store, opened the first one in Minnesota in 1986. Within a very quick time, Paramount kind of lost interest in this, so literally 2 years later in 1988, Musicland basically spun the company off, bought out Paramount, and they rebranded the company into Suncoast Motion Picture Company, and then they sold everyone's movies.
There's a moment that's reached out and touched your heart,
Like a scene from a movie that you feel you've played the part.
if you want to relive it again.
Let those feelings begin. At Suncoast, on your own in your very own. We can take it to your childhood, make it part of the great Red Sea. We can take it to the bright stars, take it through the galaxies. Anytime,
Come 1988, the modern version of Suncoast was born. That's the one that anyone that grew up going to the mall in the 90s remembers. Some of my family members. I was a Star Wars collector and a Star Wars fan. I used to come to Suncoast to look for not only VHSs, but they were kind of the first to have like VHS box sets. I remember buying Star Wars box set that had like exclusive like books and behind the scenes things in it. Lithographs. I still have several Star Wars lithographs that I got from here. My first Star Wars movie poster from the 77 New Hope, I bought at Suncoast. There at Genesee Valley Mall, so in Flint, Michigan. Anyway, they were in a lot of malls in America. At their peak, they had over 400 stores nationwide. Of course, by 2001, things were getting a little unsteady in the market, and this was about the time Best Buy decided to buy Musicland, thinking they were going to have a CD and movie, vendor to couple with all the stereos that they sell. But it was right about the time that everybody had started to go to the internet to download. So, very ill-timed deal for Best Buy, and they quickly started to lose money. They got rid of Musicland in their stores within a couple years, but they already had closed a bunch of them. Of course, for the next 3 years, Musicland languished until they filed for bankruptcy in 2006. After that, another company called Trans World or somebody else bought them, and just slowly over time since 2006, they've just been closing store after store after store. Now, there are only 3 Suncoast left as of November 2023, and this is one of them. This is one of a kind, though, because this is now owned by FYE. This is a Suncoast /FYE combo store. So this is one of a kind. The only other 2 Suncoast stores that are out there are the one in Beaumont, Texas, and Jacksonville, North Carolina. Both are standalone Suncoast stores. So we're going to go in and check out Suncoast as it looks in 2023 before they're all gone.
Everyone on my list loves movies. That's why I go to Suncoast. They have the classics, sci-fi, action thrillers, holiday movies. At Suncoast, I got something for everyone. And one thing for myself.
There are over 10,000 great movie gifts at Suncoast, like Cliffhanger, starring Sylvester Stallone, the action-adventure Speed, starring Keanu Reeves, and the action-packed epic Gettysburg. These and hundreds of other titles are on sale now at Suncoast.
Suncoast, with no movies. Suncoast Motion Picture Company. We know how to make you laugh. We know how to make you cry. From Hollywood's golden years to the biggest hits of today, you can own your very own. Suncoast, with no movies. Suncoast Motion Picture.
Pretty much if you've been in a modern day FYE in any mall, it probably looks very similar, being that they are owned by the same company. But these guys were doing it long before FYE. They always had collectibles, they always had VHS tapes, and then later on DVDs. It was always a cool place to come look for hard to find titles. And I mean, it was a giant video store. It was awesome. And unlike, especially when they first started, unlike video rental stores at the time, you could actually buy videos here. You couldn't do that at video rental stores when they first started. Because all the distributors actually had laws against it, or rules against it, I should say. So Suncoast was kind of unique when it first started, of a place where you could come and actually buy videos. Like this light and dark light switch. That's awesome. The bargain bin. Starsky and Hutch, the complete 3rd season. Bewitched. Ooh, Alias, the complete second season. That was a great show. That's so funny. So these are actually used. TJ Hooker. That's great. I remember that when that was on, actually. I remember seeing a few episodes of that when I was a kid. So they actually have used. So they take in used media like GameStop would. Instead of your games, you just come in with your old DVDs and Blu-rays, and they buy them back probably for $0.25, like GameStop. And I don't know what they buy them back at, but and then they resell them, repackage them, resell them. But that's pretty cool. But like their older ones are not very much. $3.99. You know, that's not a whole lot for a movie that is getting harder and harder to find. You know, there's not a lot of people that are into hard media anymore. And, you know, streaming is kind of king now, and the hard media collectors, by the way, we're right about VHS. That whole market now is exploding again. And now those tapes are worth so much money, especially the ones that are still sealed. And VCRs go for $75 to $100 at anywhere. If you still have any old ones, sell them. That's pretty much what you paid for them when they were new. But yeah, it's pretty cool. This was always a section I ran for when I was growing up at Suncoast, the poster section. I loved looking through posters. Got a Five Nights.
Roger, I got it.
They used to run like $3.99, $5, $6, you know, up to like $6, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, it was enough that you were like, it was an investment if you were on an allowance. It's cool to see that still around. Rudy, what a classic. Rocky, amazing. The horror section. Oh yes. Hoorah. All the Halloweens. Gremlins. I always look for a film I produced many years ago called The Doom's Chapel Horror. It had a very limited DVD release. I found one in the wild when it first came out at Walmart, but never seen one outside of that Walmart. Not surprising. Got the Christmas section up, all the classics. Got your anime, collector box sets. And then you can go over into FYE. Because this is a combo store. The FYE fare is just slightly different. It's a little bit more modern over here. Which I definitely like the Suncoast side a bit more. But, you know, FYE is still a cool store. I still come in here at different malls that I'm in. They always have kind of cool stuff. But again, they're kind of the what's now version of Suncoast, so that's why. That's probably why I like it. I like these rugs, especially that Nintendo one. Those are cool. Doing great, man. Thanks. And they always have really good deals on their old t-shirts too. Halloween hoodies. Junjuito. Terrifying. Yeah, let's see what their deal is right now. Is buy one get one 75% off. Not bad. Kind of crazy going through CDs still. Wow. $2 a piece. These are almost like cassette tapes now. When you look at them, they look so old. It's crazy to think the CD is the last hard media for music. It's probably the last we'll ever have. It's kind of nuts. Because those came out in 86, 87. Wow, almost 40 years ago. And then, yeah, digital kind of changed all that. So there was never an improvement, because up till then it was like record, 8-track, cassette, CD. It was like going. And now there won't be any more hard media for music. Now we're going backwards. Now we're going back to records, and now cassettes are getting popular again. And then it'll be CDs again. So everybody should probably buy all those CDs. They'll probably be worth money in a few more years. Lots of toys. Very cool toys too. I like them. E.T. That's cute. Frankenberry, but for $40? Yikes. Of course, you gotta have the Wall o' Funko. Little video game section. I like it. Now back to Suncoast. Oh, I didn't even notice that Sand Trooper. Got Gentle Giant 12-inch. That's pretty cool. I like those 12-inch lines. Ooh, that's a cool Jedi t-shirt too. I dig it. I dig it a lot. We got Avengers gear. More DVDs and Blu-rays. Blankies. Anime has taken over. People are into it. Kaiju. I like the wall of Kaiju, that's pretty cool. Godzilla sweatshirts, and got some of the movies displayed. Everything's on brand, I like that. Oh, I dig that t-shirt. Michael Monet. Sammy, Freddy, Chucky, Pennywise, Ghostface, Krampus. Silence of the Lambs. It's been a while since I've been in a Suncoast. It looks a little different from the way it used to. Obviously it used to have way more of a retro feel. Definitely has the more of the FYE feel and the more modern day media store of them all, but still cool to see that logo. I haven't seen one of those in a long time, and there's only 3 spots left to see it, period. Who knows how much longer that'll last. So if you have a special place in your heart for the Suncoast Motion Picture Movie Company, you should go find one. Like I said, they're here in Ohio or Beaumont, Texas, or Jacksonville, North Carolina. So we've got a couple of places to see them for at least the next little while. Just 2 years ago, there was double the amount of locations. So there was 6 just 2 years ago. Now there's 3. So I expect in the next 2 years, these will all be gone, and we'll just remember them as they were. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this little look back to the 90s. I know I did, and I appreciate you guys watching. I also like to thank 80stees.com for sponsoring this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now. By the way, on my way out of this mall, I spotted a store called goat country. That's right. You get to hang out and pet goats that are in pajamas. Is that not the most adorable thing you've ever seen? I kind of hope some of them are fainting goats, but it would be probably pretty mean to scream at them. That's pretty cute though.